Retire early, or the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. I was having a conversation this week with a good friend. He and his wife just had a new baby. They have two successful businesses. They're multimillionaires, two homes that are paid for. And he was struggling with wanting to cut back and cutting back from both of their jobs, businesses, which is a 7 day a week job for them. At the moment, they wanted to know how Elle and I got to retire and stop working an office or 9 to 5 job early. So, how much is enough? Let's dive in. Well, to be open and honest, I got nerdy on this and I want to share with you the actual numbers. The very first time that I left or stopped working the office, I left the office and started traveling with no end date and no plan to go back with Elle was January 2017. Now it's been over 8 years of travel, spontaneity, living life, living our ideal life. Now, the number with that was my net worth number, how much money I had. My net worth was $300,000 at that time. Now, Elle's net worth was very similar. So we both had a similar net worth, but my net worth was $300,000, with the majority of that in retirement accounts. Now, how did I do that? How do you live on that amount of money? Well, you don't. We knew we were going to have to work again. We didn't know when or how or what that would look like, but we also didn't know anything when it comes to traveling. What if we would have hated traveling? Well, we would have figured that out earlier. We didn't work 40 or 50 years to save money to then travel to realize we don't even like this. We encourage you, Jason and I, in this course, in this podcast, in our online courses, Ideal Life and Money Academy is about living your ideal life. And you don't know what you don't know. If you're here to learn about money, we're here to teach you. If you want to learn about how to take the next step, we're here to encourage you to try out that thing, whatever that is. Is it traveling? Is it downsizing? Is it going part-time? Is it saving 40% of your income? Is it whatever it is for you? It's a beautiful thing. And we're here to encourage you to do that. And I want to share my story on that because, man, I had no idea what I was going to do for work. I had no idea how we were going to get money again in the future or how much we even needed. Hi, friend. We'll get back to the episode in 1 second, but we want to give you a free gift for joining us today. It's a 3-part free workshop where you get to learn how to get a 10% raise without doing more work. Then we're going to teach you what to do with that extra money. Because the end goal is for you to start living your ideal life years, if not decades sooner. So, do you need to get out of debt? Do you want to spend more on the life that you want to live? Or maybe you want to invest that extra income. All of these things are in this free workshop. Just go to sentinelcoaching.com/raise. That's sentinelcoaching.com/raise. Now back to the episode. But I tried it out and we love to travel. And because of that, we get to do more of it. And then we have now embodied the traveling lifestyle that we make it a part of now our work life. When we do work, if it is we're helping friends, if we're helping family, or if we're helping other people build their small businesses and we get paid for it. Because most of the time we're just helping out because we want to help out and we no longer need the money, but it is also nice to be paid for doing things that you enjoy. So that's what my encouragement is. If you're here because you are thinking about retiring early or you want to take a break from work, Well, then do it. The worst thing that will happen is you don't like whatever you chose, right? Going to relocate to another country, going part-time, traveling to Southeast Asia, whatever that thing is, you'll learn that you like it or you don't. And now you know. Now you don't have to worry about it anymore. Now you get to free up that space in your mind and your dreams, your goals, they get to change, they get to shift. And man, it is so fun. Man, it's so fun. And the very cool thing about that, like I said, my net worth was $300,000 in January 2017. Since then, Elle and I have gotten married, so we've combined our net worths, but our net worth has continued to go up every single year, except for one. We had one year that it didn't go up over the last 10 years. And man, is that fun. So not only have we lived our ideal life, but because we're in control of our money and we tell it what to do because we don't spend more than we earn, our net worth has gone up, but also our self-worth has gone up. The adventures that we've had around the world in the last 8 years of traveling have been mind-blowing. I mean, some people don't even get to do things that we've done in one year in a lifetime. It is so cool what we've created. And that's what Jason and I want to encourage you to do. Try it out. Don't be scared. What are you waiting on? Do you already have $1 million net worth? My friend that was having this and I having this discussion, they're multi-millionaires and they're scared because they have a newborn on when to stop working 7 days a week. They're scared. And how do we combat that? For Elle and I, we have a budget every month. That very first year that we started traveling, because we weren't married, we chose to both put in $1,000. I would put in $1,000. She would put in $1,000 into our joint traveling account. We had one account where we just spent all monies and we both contributed 50-50. Now, this may be different for your house, but I'm just giving you what has worked and what we did. So that's $2,000 a month that we had to spend. But again, we had no bills. The only thing that we had to pay for monthly was a phone. And we shared a phone. We were extreme. We shared one phone for 2 years. Now that's not very much. So what are you going to do with the other $1,975, right? If we had a $25 a month phone plan. So many things. We got to travel around Australia in a four-wheel drive and a rooftop tent and had an amazing, amazing time. Now we did work that year. We worked seven weeks. Most people were opposite. I shouldn't even say that. I was gonna say most people have 7 weeks off of work, but no, a lot of people only have 2 weeks off of work. But we only worked for 7 weeks, and that was a lot of fun. And what was funny was those 7 weeks covered all of our trips, meaning all of the money that we spent. Remember, $2,000 a month is $24,000 a year. So for two people working full time for 7 weeks, we were able to make $24,000 covered our trip. So we didn't even dip into savings. How cool is that? So our investments got to sit there. We never had to pull from them. We've only ever pulled from our investments one time in the 8 years of traveling, and that was to buy this RV. Other than that, we've been able to work, keep our expenses low, and work for everything that we did spend. And it's been a lot of fun. And we encourage you to do the same. That's what we're here for. We're here to inspire. So you have multiple $1 million, you have multiple houses paid off. For my friend, I was selling, man, sell a business. But be clear on how much you spend. For Elle and I, we knew we were spending $2,000 a month. For you, maybe it's $5,000 a month. Maybe it's $10,000 a month. Being clear on that, not knowing is where you get in trouble. The unknown is scary, but facts are your friends. Facts are your friends. Knowing how much you're going to spend, you know how much you're going to spend for the year, and now you know how much you need to have pulling from retirement or savings or an income. For my friend, neither one of them are going to go from 7-day-a-week businesses to nothing. And if they did, it's not going to last even 12 months. It's not even, it's probably going to only last 3 months, if that. So what are they going to do with the other 9 months? Well, they're probably going to create another business, to be honest, but they're going to supplement the amount of money that they're spending by doing something. Because when we do something, we usually do it with an exchange, a paycheck exchange. And today it's even easier than any time in history because you can work remotely doing anything, anything. So let's go and give you an example. $5,000 a month. You want to retire and have $5,000 a month. That's $60,000 a year. Now, if you had $1 million invested, and if you've listened to me for any amount of time, if you have $1 million invested at 10%, that's going to give you $100,000. Boom. Now, not every year is going to do that. Some years are going to be more, some years are going to be less, but on average is 10%. Well, you're covering all your expenses. If your expenses are 60 grand a year, that's pretty easy. But let's say I'm half wrong. You don't agree with 10%, and half of that is 5%. So $1 million would give you $50,000 a year. Well, now you're dipping into savings or you're taking money off of the investments. In this example, if you spend 60 and you're only getting an income of 50 from investments, then where's the other $10,000 going to come from? Well, there's multiple ways. One, you could reduce your expenses by $10,000, or you could sell things around the house, or you could get a part-time job. You could work online. You could do different things to be able to find and fund the lifestyle that you want. Food for thought. So my mate that did that, and then we had this conversation. I know we left him with things to think about. This only just happened last week, by the way. So he's got time. He's got two businesses that he's still running, a 6 month old, 8 month old, and he's trying to figure out what's the next thing. Just try it. And I think he is. He's going to try it. He's going to read books. He's going to continue to have these conversations, these streams, these thoughts. And man, the biggest thing that I can encourage you is be on, if you're not single. If you're single, you only have to deal with yourself, which is beautiful. But when you're with someone, when you're married, making sure that your spouse is on the same page is a beautiful thing. Because if Elle and I quit our jobs and we started traveling and she wanted to spend $10,000 a month and I wanted to spend $1,000, wow, those numbers are drastically different and you have to change things. You're either going to have a bigger nest egg or they're going to have a reality check to bring down the, in this example, $10,000 a month. But being on the same page, no matter what it is, if it's 1,000, 10,000, or maybe you want to spend $20,000 a month, there's no wrong answer. But when you have a life partner, man, it's so important to be on the same page. And we can talk about that for hours and hours and hours. But until then, be sure to be in control. And if you haven't already, check out our online courses. They'll get you to where you want to be because we want you to live your ideal life. That's why we're here. All right. Have a beautiful day.